Since time of memorial, the Anishinaabe of Shoal First Nation have sustained a way of life that was peaceful and harmonious with their environment. Their strong spiritual beliefs in the four directions had influence on all decisions that affected the community.
There never used to be hatred or stuff like that. Everybody used to work together and love one another. That's where we want to go. Bring the community together, circle together.
Share what they know, what's in the heart here, and help one another. That's what they used to do years ago. One guy would build a house and they all chip in, and 3 days later they had a house made out of logs.
The Anishinaabe language was a spiritual connection between the Creator and the people, and the cultural lifeline for generations to come. With respect for the ancestors that had come before, the leadership of today is following the direction that was given from a way of life that was once followed by the nations of Shoal.
Trying to bring back our tradition, infusing it with a modern way of doing business, infusing them two together, and what you see is a result of that, the work that's been done so far.
Since the imposition of the Indian Act, the community of Shoal and its inhabitants were forced to live under the new government rule, an external system of governance based on greed and power that is designed to divide and conquer.
The Indian Act, I am elected under the Indian Act, a chief under the Indian Act. If anybody ever reads the Indian Act, I'm accountable to the Minister of Indian Affairs. I'm not accountable to you. I don't have to have this meeting. I don't have to have community meetings if I listen to the Indian Act. We're trying to free ourselves from the Indian Act. We want to do this. We want to have circles again. We want to have meetings again. I'm accountable to you, not to the Minister of Indian Affairs.
Generations of Anishinaabe people were victims of the government's assimilation campaign and were subjected to years of residential school that would create ongoing social issues and dire consequences for generations to come.
Today, in our society, understanding that we are Anishinaabe and trying to conduct business in a manner or in a form that is foreign to us brings us problems. And I guess it's as a result of those problems that we experience as a community. Trying to govern ourselves in the system, like I said, is not our way. These are the ones that make those decisions. The people have that authority to provide that direction.
The community of Shoal 40 First Nation is now undertaking a community-based governance project to create an open, fair, and accountable government and administration that will reflect our vision. The 7 natural laws will be the guiding principles for the new governance model.
7 natural laws are bravery. To be brave is to do something right, even if you know it's going to hurt you. Honesty. To achieve honesty within yourself, to recognize who and what you are. Do this, and you can be honest with all others. Humility. To humble yourself and recognize that no matter how much you think you know very little of all the universe. Love. To love unconditionally and to know that when people are weak, they need your love the most. That your love is given freely and you cannot put conditions on it or your love is not true. Respect. To respect others and their beliefs and to respect yourself. If you cannot show respect, you cannot expect respect to be given. Truth. To learn truth, to live truth, to talk truth, and to speak truthfully. Wisdom. To have wisdom is to know the difference between good and bad, and to know the result of your actions. These were the kind of values that we used to live by at one time. Before the foreign system of governance was introduced.
We're all very proud that you're going to spend some time with us today.
Good. Under the guidance of Chief Erwin Redsky and his council, this governance pilot project will formalize the involvement of elders, women, men, young people, and the 7 natural laws in the community decision-making process.
And it's something that was not just made, it's something that's already been there. It just had to come back at a certain time, and at a certain place. And I believe this is at that time, and this is at that place.
We used to self-govern ourselves at one time. Now they put us into little boxes across this great land that we used to control. We want to get out of that box, and we want to start governing ourselves again. It's going to take a lot of work and effort from everybody. It's not going to happen tomorrow, next day, next week. It's going to be a lot of work. This is over 100 years of Indian Act. We're stuck in that box for a long time. We have to think out of the box, get free of that box. That's where we're trying to go. We want to self-govern ourselves again.
In the year 2000, we had a community meeting. We had feasts, and that was a direction given by the community members who were at the meeting to start exploring, examining ways that we could administer and even govern ourselves better than the way we have been. Our people are so accustomed to doing business the other way and trying to bring back, in a sense, our traditional values and the way of doing business with the way we used to.
Implementing the new governance model, Chief Erwin Redsky and his council are already battling one of Shoal Lake 40's biggest and most important issues: safe all-weather access to and from the community, which is also important in creating a sustainable, self-sufficient economy.
It affects all aspects of First Nation, business-wise, and you got to sometimes decide if it's worth going to an important meeting. You got to weigh that with the dangerous factor. How you're going to get home, when you're going to get home. So it affects in everything.
We've been talking about the bridge for 50 years. My dad was chief in the 50s. He was already talking about the bridge back then. No more. I don't want to talk about the bridge for another 50 years. No.